for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Hey guys, Basic Gordon here. I'm inviting you to join the whole Converge Media fam July 5th through the 7th for the Takeover All-Star Edition live from Pier 62 at Waterfront Park. Tap in and join my fellow queens of Converge, Trae Holiday and T-Dub, as well as Curtis Delgado II, Matt Bermudez, and the rest of the Converge Media and Circling Seattle sports family. And you already know, the vibes are being curated by the world-famous DJ Topspin. It's all about baseball, music, food, art, culture, and all the things that make the town such an all-star location. Tap in for your guide to All-Star Week activities, great places to eat, and where to hit the streets. And on Friday, July 7th, it's about to be a whole moment with some major Black college homecoming vibes as we free funk on the Pier for the first ever HBCU Swingman Classic presented by King Griffey Jr. later that night at T-Mobile Park. So pull up and join our 3-day block party in person at Pier 62 or online. That's July 5th through 7th at 11 a.m. as we broadcast live from Waterfront Park, presented by Friends of Waterfront Seattle and the Seattle Sports Commission.
There we go. Grand Rising, everybody. Welcome to the Takeover. I'm your co-host, Trae Holiday, and you all know this is day 2 for us, the whole Converge Media team here at the Waterfront Park at Pier 62. I'm excited because I got my guy, Big O, in the building. We are doing it once again. What up, Big O?
Yo, what's up? Hey, before I say anything, big shout outs to Bronx Dead Eyes. You know what I'm saying? Our guy Francisco on that, man, that intro edit is hard.
It's so fire. It's so fire. I love it.
I'm wondering how come I ain't making it in there.
Oh, well,
I must not have caught the director's eye.
You know what it takes to get you on camera, man. You talked about it yesterday. We're glad you're on camera with us today.
Yeah, man. I'm very happy to be here. Day number 2 of the Takeover. We're here today and as well tomorrow. And tomorrow is the pre-game pre-funk right here on the Pier as we get to pre-funking before the Swing Man Classic. And speaking of that, we're very happy to have Del Matthews from Major League Baseball in the building. Going to talk a little Swing Man today.
Oh, I'm glad because, you know, people are getting pumped, man. This is HBCU coming to the PNW. It's going and popping.
Yeah, look at that nice picture of Del right there, huh?
Nice.
Okay. Suited and booted. Oh, man. You know, and then we've got Stephanie Johnson Tolliver.
My girl SJT in the building.
Exactly. And we've got Dave Eskenazi. And I'm talking about, like, this is, you know, when they say when crews connect, when crews link up, this is when historians link up. So they're going to have a great conversation, Stephanie and Dave. And, man, they're going to be talking about baseball here in the Pacific Northwest. And also, man, the history of Black baseball here in the Pacific Northwest is all. So, you know, we got 2 encompassing conversations with, like, man, really 2 experts.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting because, you know, for me, I get to learn so much in those moments. Oh, there's a lot I don't know. So I get excited about all the lessons and knowledge I'm going to be able to download.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Speaking of knowledge and download, this is your foray here into that Green Path app, Ike.
Here we go.
Excuse me. We've been following restaurants that are on the Green Path. I think we have an overlay for it. Green Path app is an app with Visit Seattle, Major League Baseball, All-Star, the Mariners. Everybody's come together at visitseattle.org/MLB-all-star. Oh, he's got a motion graphic on it now, too. In the Green Path app, you get a lot of different restaurants and places that you can walk in downtown Seattle. And we want to encourage people to be intentional about, you know, spending some coin at some of our local restaurants. We know that the big entities, they do it well. They know how to just, you know, get all the bread. But so we want to make sure and highlight smaller businesses. And we found one that's right over in Pike Place Market. You know, everybody in Seattle is always talking about how they got the best taco. Right? And there's always these conversations about the taco. Now, we were fortunate enough to visit a restaurant called Maiz, and it's right there in Pike Place. And here's what we found.
Welcome to Maiz. We are Seattle's first nixtamal tortilla shop. We're making our own fresh masa, or corn dough, every single day in the Mexican tradition of nixtamal. Goes back 4,000 years or more, but we're always using heirloom Mexican corn grown by community farms in order to promote that ancestral product. So we really focus our menu around sourcing all of our raw ingredients from Mexico. So the coffee that you enjoyed is house roasted espresso from Chiapas that my boss actually does himself over in our Ballard roastery. All of the corn that we get, again, comes from community farms. We're always trying to promote the different varieties of Mexican corn. There's more than 60 different types of unique individual types of corn that grow wildly and organically in Mexico. And so we're really trying to promote those. The best tamales in town. You can get great taco plates, tostadas, and that full espresso bar as well. It's all milled fresh every single day by our team. We don't ever dry the corn or anything like that. So it's really, really fresh. You can really taste the difference, as well as just the love that these people put into their cuisine. It's a family of chefs, a family with a lot of passion. They're a real pleasure to work for. We opened up here in November of 2001. The ownership team are a family from Baja California, Ensenada. They originally opened a restaurant in Ballard called Sazon a little over 5 years ago. And in the operations of a taco truck at the same time, they found that the store-bought industrial corn tortillas they were working with were so subpar because they had so many preservatives in it, it lacked flavor, it used genetically modified American corn. And from their experience growing up in Mexico, they knew that there was a substantially better product available on the market. So they said, why not us? Why not be the ones to introduce Nixtamal to Seattle? They saw an opportunity to share a little bit of their culture and heritage, which I think everybody in the city is grateful for. The husband and wife that own the restaurant, they love to travel to different towns in Mexico and promote different artists. And so they found a Talavera tile artist, which is the style that we have here in Puebla, but thousands of individual pieces, not only to outfit this location, but as well as our 6th Avenue location in Belltown, with a vibrant, beautiful, hand-painted texture. They installed it all themselves as well. And that's just another piece that I really appreciate about the team. They're very invested in what they're doing. Seattle is definitely known for coffee. As a Seattleite, I know nothing goes better with a fresh cup of coffee than a nice tamal in the morning. Come by, get Seattle's best tamal while you're at it. We do some chilaquiles. It's not on the menu always. You kind of have to know somebody sometimes, so you can always feel free to ask somebody. We'll hook you up. Mais is excited to be part of the Greenbelt app. The whole community of Seattle representing for the team here. We're really excited. Pike Place Market has been here over 100 years. It's really the heartbeat of the city. It's producer driven. All of the vendors that you see in this market are the owners and the operators as well. So it's a good opportunity to actually meet the person who runs the business, who grows your produce, who makes your meal. It's unique in that respect, and it's something that all of us Seattleites take a lot of pride in. Come on through to Mais Antojitos in Pike Place Market. Best Mexican food in Seattle, bar none. Fresh corn tortillas, freshly made every single day.
Yeah, thanks for counting, man.
Yeah, there we go. Wow. Mais, huh?
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you one benefit of being on the production crew is that we get to eat everything.
Oh.
And so the food there at Mais is fire. And I can say this, I haven't gone to enough specialty, like, Mexican restaurants to be able to rate oh, this is whatever. But I can tell you this, it was bomb. It was fire.
See, well, I have been to a lot of them, so I might have to go check out Mais and give you a lowdown on how it rates against some of our greats.
Yeah, and we need to find who's managing the hospitality writer over here. Is that's Britt, or is that Angela or somebody? Because we see now they have a thing. You said it's nothing better than tamales and coffee in the morning.
Yes.
So now we got to see if we can get our writer amended for tomorrow.
Yeah, get some tamales.
Let's see if we can get some tamales from Mais. You know what I'm saying, up in here, man. But before we move on, we get into this commercial break and we bring Dell out, man. Just wanted to when I see you got the Baseball Beyond Borders hat on this morning.
I do represent, I'm excited because they really do represent something that is necessary when we talk about baseball and access, particularly for young baseball players that are from the global majority. And just looking at the cost of even trying to get my son enrolled, I'm like, whoo, it's hefty. So just shout out to Baseball Beyond Borders for the work they do.
All right. So quick 1-2 here. We good back there, Mr. Director? You good? Oh, okay. I thought he might have had the tamale earlier without the coffee. Fell asleep. Okay, we're good. We have fun on the set. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes people are so, uptight. It's all good, man. These are our people from way back.
Of course.
But speaking of baseball beyond borders, one of the things we talk about in the efforts to revive baseball in the inner city, RBI, not only, but especially our focus, man, is that Black kids all across America have been priced out of baseball. We have to remember that this last World Series was the first World Series in 70 years that there wasn't a Black player, Black American-born player on either team. This is a sport that just generations ago, this was a sport that we love so much as a people, because you know why? Baseball is the only sport that Black people ever owned.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And every Sunday, all across there, man, you know what I'm saying? You'd find these stadiums full, right? And as things in America has changed, I think that Black people's position around baseball has changed, and also the economics and the access to the game has changed. So there's a few different dynamics at play right now with baseball, especially when you're talking about the Black community. Is one, how do we tap into that love of the game that we as a community once had? But then also, two, how do we remove the barriers and the financial barriers of access to get young people playing the game again? And so it's a heavy lift. And, organizations like Baseball Beyond Borders and their partner organizations and RBI across America, and then the different programs. And even what we're talking about today here with the Swingman Classic is something, of course, they're going to uplift and highlight the players, but I also ignite that spark in young people, get them excited about baseball.
Well, one of the great things about Swingman Classic is exactly that. Like, young folks will be able to see themselves in the game and dominating. I mean, that's why I'm bringing both of my sons tomorrow night. We will be there because I really want them to be able to have that exposure to seeing some great Black players all over from different HBCUs playing in this game tomorrow. That's going to be exciting and huge.
Yeah, I think another thing is too is that we told the MLB people early on was like, yo, this is an event that's excitable for our community.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I mean, why are people? Ain't nobody. The best thing is, a part of that has to do with the ticket price. It's affordable. Not one person, not even my mama, asked for a free ticket. Every single person I know is like, yo, where do I go to buy tickets?
That's right.
And I mean, people hit us up for free tickets for things all the time, whether it's sporting events or whether it's something that STG presents or, Fifth Avenue Theater or whatever it is. We constantly get requests of who has free tickets. I didn't get one request for no free ticket because it's a sense of pride with people. It's a sense of pride. Like, man, I'm paying to go and uplift these historically Black colleges, these players in this situation. It's a sense of pride that's there. That's why I told those MLB guys early on. I said, you don't understand. I said, if we activate people in the right way, the ones that will sit there, they'll take a sense of pride and say, I bought my ticket. I bought my ticket to the Swingman Classic. I see Stephanie Johnson-Tolliver over there raising a hand with the amen, because that's something that we talked about months ago. We said, if you give us something that we can be proud of in our community, you ain't gonna find nobody begging.
No, you're not. And another thing too is what's so exciting about this, is that it is a time for family to come out together. This is an amazing historic event, the first time ever doing this. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of people saving those tickets for their scrapbooks and tell their kids about this day. It's historic.
Yeah, historic it is. And man, we're gonna take a quick break right now. But when we come back, look at suited and booted Dale Matthews, Major League Baseball Vice President of Baseball Development. That's a big title over there, Dale. Hey, I ain't know Dale was such a big dog. I was like, hey, it's the homie Dale. Now I gotta sit up straight in my chair. We're gonna take a quick break. You're watching The Takeover.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
Hey, I'm Besa Gordon. You may have heard my voice on Hits 106.1 or seen me on Converge Media, but now I'm coming to TV. I'm hosting the newest show on Fox 13 called Back to Besa. Check us out every weekend for the hottest topics, interviews, the latest trends, and uplifting stories. We're going to have so much fun, and teams, we got you too. Back to Base is Saturday nights, 10:30 on Fox 13, and Sundays at 10 a.m. on Fox 13 Plus.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Hi, I'm Besa Gordon from Converge Media, Hits 106.1, and back to Besa on Fox 13.
And I'm Buki Gates from Baseball Beyond Borders.
And we are here at T-Mobile Park, where on July 7th, they will host the very first ever HBCU Swingman Classic.
That's right, Besa. Ken Griffey Jr., the kid, has rounded up 50 of the very best ball players from HBCUs from all across the country, from schools like Jackson State, Grambling, Southern, FAMU, North Carolina A&T, Alabama State, and many more.
It's literally the All-Star game before the All-Star game, right?
Exactly. And the fact that the very first HBCU Swingman Classic is happening right here in the Emerald City is a big deal.
A big deal indeed. And it sounds like a whole lot of Black college homecoming vibes.
You already know what it is. Don't miss out on this historic opportunity to see the very best of the best Black college baseball players right here at T-Mobile Park on July 7th. Tickets are on sale now at allstargame.com. See you there.
The new COVID-19 updated booster provides the best protection available right now. So don't wait. Stay safe this summer and get your updated booster today. To find a free vaccine provider near you, go to kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
All right, welcome back to the Takeover, and man, we're joined right now by a big dog. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about my man Dell Matthews from Major League Baseball. How are you, Dell?
I'm doing great. It's great to be in Seattle, just taking in the sights and being here for the All-Star game this week, hosting the HBCU Swingman Classic. Couldn't be better, so I'm outstanding.
All right. So, you know, Mara is cracking the whip over here. She said we got 11 minutes. So I ain't going to small talk you to death. We'll get right into it. But I will say this before that is that Dell and your colleagues, at least in my interactions with you, I can say you guys have been very intentional, you know what I'm saying, in your efforts here, one around the game itself, of course, but then also two, and trying to include as many different people and organizations and voices. And this isn't sometimes big organizations, they just kind of throw some gimme stuff out to communities, so they could check a box. Yeah. And the best thing is about the Swingman Classic is that it's not a box checked. And I say all that to now pass it over to you so you can tell us more about the Swingman Classic.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate that. And it starts with our leadership, starts at the top. And really with the people that are put in positions to activate. And so when you have representatives of the community, we're able to dig in, no pun intended, and do the work for the community and represent the right way. Ken Griffey Jr. really started with this whole idea. And he said, hey, what better way to bring Black baseball to Seattle than to host an HBCU All-Star game? And so he's had a lot of tremendous ideas over the years, and I think most people know him for his athletic prowess on the field as a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest evers. But off the field, what he's done with coming up with retiring 42 throughout baseball, his swingman legacy, if you will, with apparel and shoes, and now with the HBCU Swingman Classic. Pretty tremendous pillars, if you will, foundations for building upon, and I'm just excited that he's allowed us to be a part of the event, honored to take part of it, having gone to an HBCU, played college baseball, and just excited with what we're going to get a chance to see this weekend. Passionate the culture of HBCU baseball, the sounds of HBCU baseball, and we get to see it live on MLB Network. And just thrilled with everybody that's been involved. You don't pull something off like this without a lot of different people. And we've worked through our Youth Development Foundation and the Major League Baseball Players Association, and all of our entities. And we're just excited to come to Seattle and enjoy what the Swingman does.
Man, I was on the Mariners had me on last week on Friday, so I was there during the third inning and was able to talk about Swingman, and I was actually on Cairo earlier in the day, and one question on both networks that they asked me was, Omari, what does this opportunity mean to the players? So I'll pose that to you.
Yeah, and the Mariners have been tremendous as well. It's huge. I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's hard to really put into words when you get a chance to, one, come to a major league city, but two, to be able to play on the field at a jewel event at the All-Star game, to take part in that. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and to have the exposure of what All-Star brings to a city, to be in a big league hotel, to be treated like a major leaguer, and to play on that field, to put on the uniform, to be in the locker room, to rub elbows with some of the major league legends, some of the Hall of Famers, the greats, and then the All-Stars that are coming to Seattle. What a great experience if you're a college kid, and inspiration that goes beyond the game. And I think it's something that'll be memorable for each and every one of those young men and their families, and something that they'll never forget and cherish for a lifetime as lovers of the game of baseball.
Yeah, big facts. And one of the things I mentioned as well is, I went to HBCU as well, right? And I mean, man, we never had the best of anything, compared to other schools. A lot of stuff was substandard in every aspect, from equipment to the field, to travel, to everything else. And one of the things that I brought up was that making it here and running out of that tunnel on the T-Mobile Park is an affirmation of that hard road and sticking with baseball, because baseball, no matter what, is, especially in our Black community, is one of the hardest sports to be able to stick with, for your people to find, the funds for you to be able to continue to play, and all these other kind of things. And so I could just imagine running out that tunnel and somebody doing a rewind of their life, you know what I'm saying? And all the things, that commitment of staying there, and how the Swingman Classic is a reaffirmation of that effort.
Yeah, I think it's a great point you make. It definitely reaffirms, I think, the hard work. Having gone to an HBCU, I think there's always a little chip on your shoulder in terms of your success and wanting to achieve and to excel. And so you're right. The facilities are underfunded. They're not the best facilities. Everything's not state of the art. But you still find a way, and the passion and the love for the game is why you play it. And being a student athlete, you're going to school, you're getting an education as well. And a lot of pride comes with getting your education from that HBCU. But to have this cherry on top of that, where you've played at your college, you've had a great college season, and now to be invited to the All-Star game, where you come to the best facilities, where you come to a major league city, where you're able to talk with major leaguers and former major leaguers. I mean, that if that's not a carrot to want to go play at an HBCU, I don't know what is. And I think that's part of what Ken Griffey Jr. wanted to do. He wanted to say, you know what? HBCU baseball, there's a place for us, and not everybody gets a chance to play at a Power 5 or SEC school, and so you can definitely go to an HBCU and still have success and still have an opportunity to do something like that. And I think this is what he has brought to the table. And so now you'll have hundreds, if not thousands, of kids that will see this game on TV and say, you know what, I never thought about playing at an HBCU. Let me see what that might be like. Maybe I'll go to a game, or maybe I'll research the history of a Southern University or a Florida A&M and see that they have Hall of Famers that have played Major League Baseballs from some of those schools. And if they can do it, then I can do it. And so that's what this is about. This is about opportunity. This is about creating a stage and a platform for these kids to shine. And I'm just so proud to play a small part in it, but to really pass this on to the next generation, because that's what baseball is about. It's about passing it on to the next generation. And certainly Ken Griffey Jr., that's what he's doing, and couldn't be doing it in a better way.
All right. Last question. I know you on the clock. You got to get out of here. Mara's over tapping her wrist. What do you want our community? You know, when I say our community, I mean like Seattle's Black community, but also the city in a whole, to be able to take away from the Swingman Classic.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the way over, and this is actually, you may not know this, Omar. It's a little bit of a homecoming for me. My dad played for the Mariners, Gary Matthews, in 1987, and so for me to be able to come back to this city, this was where his first All-Star game was in 1980 when he made the All-Star team. He played here in Seattle, and so to come back to Seattle and experience the HBCU Swingman Classic, I think it's great for the community. I think it's great for the city of Seattle. All the All-Star events that we have going on this week, the Home Run Derby, the All-Star Game, we have Play Ball Park that's going on. I mean, there's a lot. Major League Baseball has grown a lot in the last 20, 30 years, and we get to display all of our youth initiatives that we're involved with. We get to display the best players in the game, and we get to display some great events, a great environment and atmosphere here in Seattle with the Mariners hosting us. And we're just so proud to be here. The Mariners have been great to work with, and it really starts with their leadership and their team president. And so we're excited. And really what we want fans to do is come out to the ballpark, enjoy the festivities, and really continue that love and that passion for the game, and come out and make some memories with their families, with their children around the game, and hopefully we're creating some lifelong fans that will continue to enjoy baseball for a lifetime.
Fantastic, man. And all the while continuing that mission of reviving baseball in the inner cities and inspiring young people, you know what I'm saying, to fall in love with this game. They said that's so dope, man. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know. And congratulations for you, this special homecoming, this special moment for you.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, baseball is a generational sport. We continue to pay it back, but we continue to be inspired by those that came before us. And Seattle has a lot of great alumni that have come before us, and just so proud to be here and to celebrate baseball in this fantastic city.
All right, there it is. My man Del Matthews in the building. You know what I'm saying? I know we're gonna be chopping it up tomorrow,
no doubt,
at the Swingman Classic. And speaking of great history, man, we got a great segment coming up next. We got Stephanie Johnson-Tolliver and Dave Eskenazi. I mean, we're talking baseball history right here in Seattle. We're gonna take a quick break. You're watching The Takeover.
Hi, my name is Shekendi Salisbury, and I'm a proud alumnus of Elizabeth City State University and a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity.
And hello, my name is Jacqueline Howard, a proud alumnus of Duke University and a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Hi, my name is Curtis Delgado II, a proud alumnus of the Hampton University and a proud member of the Gamma Epsilon chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
And hi, my name is Angela Booker, a proud alum of Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University and a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
We are here today with our Divine Nine family to tell you about a home run opportunity for high school students in the Seattle area looking to attend an HBCU in the future.
And I am talking about the HBCU College Fair happening Friday, July 7th at T-Mobile Park, where college recruiters and representatives from
Howard University,
Grambling, Tuskegee,
Morehouse,
Florida A&M,
Southern University,
Langston,
and my alma mater, Elizabeth City State University,
the Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University,
and Prairie View A&M.
We'll all be in the building to answer all of your questions about these prestigious universities, as well as give you applications and further information.
The HBCU College Fair kicks off a few hours before the HBCU Swingman Classic, presented by Ken Griffey Jr. at 7 p.m., where 50 of the best black college baseball players in America will take to the field for an all-star game under the bright lights at T-Mobile Park.
This is truly a doubleheader you don't want to miss. Black College Fair and the HBCU Swingman Classic.
Friday, July 7th at 5 p.m., followed by the HBCU Swingman Classic at 7 p.m. And we are capping off the night with the fireworks show.
Tickets to the HBCU Swingman Classic are only $10 and include a college fair and are available at allstargame.com.
The HBCU Fair is powered by the United Negro College Fund, the Major League Baseball Players Association, and the Major League Baseball Youth Development Foundation.
I have a dream. That's what Dr. King said. Have gives hope, doesn't it? Because the dream didn't die with Dr. King. It's still here as long as we're here, as long as they're here.
This thing started with a dream, a vision, a little ambition, anticipating what was possible in the midst of improbable. How do we get our team through the South?
We're going to talk about what happened here in 1964. This city was an ugly place to be.
I need you on the battlefield, making sure that one day and one day soon, by the time they are our age, we can all say, "Child, all lives matter," and it be the truth.
Our God is marching on. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Takeover. You see it right there. We are here live at Waterfront Park at Pier 62. I'm your co-host, Trae Holiday, and joining me right now is Miss Stephanie Johnson-Tolliver.
Hello.
Hi.
I love it here on the pier.
Oh, and
Beautiful.
such a beautiful day to be out here. We are
Oh, I
here
know.
day 2 for the Takeover, but I'm excited because when we talk about baseball, there's a huge history of baseball that you know so much about. What are some of those highlights, SJT, when we talk about the history of baseball right here in Seattle?
Yeah, well, Seattle has a very rich history of baseball and really generated and out of Garfield Park. You know, so adjacent to Garfield High School, back in the late 20s, 30s, and 40s, and then into Little League. When my kids were playing Little League at Garfield Park, I mean, it was a hot spot. But even prior to that, Rosalind, Washington, and I hope Dave and I'll get a chance to talk about that, is all of the great players, the Black players, the history that was created out of Rosalind, Washington.
Well, I am going to step away so you can have a deeper conversation with Dave. But as always, I had to thank you for being here and bringing your history knowledge to such an iconic moment, because the Swingman Classic tomorrow is going to be huge. And another something that we can add into the history books.
Yes.
As I step aside and introduce David, you tell us about your excitement for Swingman Classic tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I am truly excited about it. I've been waiting for this to happen for weeks. So tomorrow is the day. Hi, Dave.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Yes. I really thought that there was going to be some sort of engagement here, some conversation with Trayana, but here we go. Right?
You bet.
You too. I always felt like I'm kind of the yin to your yang, or the reverse, because you're the guy that has this really rich, deep history of the stats of players, their abilities on the field, where I am all about the storytelling.
Sure.
You know, and the stories behind the players. So I want to hear what you have to say about those players, those early players.
Well, and I'm standing on the backs of giants that have done the research and uncovered the information about Black baseball history in Seattle. Even going as far back as Esther Hall Mumford's book in Seattle's Black Victorians, where she found a Black baseball team in Seattle in 1890, when the Black population was 300 or so.
Yeah,
And it's
right.
just part of the continuum, and it's culminating in this HBCU Classic being here, which is spectacular. But you had early black baseball teams after the turn of the 20th century, the Seattle Gophers, the Keystone Giants, the Queen City All-Stars, the Seattle Royal Giants, all these great teams that were sponsored by local black business owners and played all around the city, around the state, up into Canada. And just a tremendous amount, a great amount of great baseball here. And that's just part of the story.
Right. The East Side Athletics, who were an early team too. You mentioned the Gophers. So 1911,
right.
They played at Woodland Park.
Correct.
There's a great photo that we hold at the Black Heritage Society that shows them as a team. They look scrappy.
Oh,
okay?
Absolutely.
But the East Side Athletics eventually became the Carver Athletics. And my connection there is that my grandfather coached, or he managed, the East Side team before Al Pier,
right,
who was a huge musician here in Seattle,
right,
took over the team, and they became the Carver Athletics
right.
in about mid 1940s.
Right.
So,
and Joe Staten Sr. was a star on that team.
Oh,
He played for the Seattle Royal Giants,
Mhm.
and his son Joe Jr. was greatly involved in RBI here with the Mariners, with his teammate and best friend Billy North, three-time World Series champion. So there's a tremendous amount of baseball history from diverse communities.
Right.
Here
And
in
I
Seattle.
feel like those players too came out of Garfield. You know, some of those players, even Powell Burnett's son, Doug Burnett,
Doug,
right?
Yeah.
Played on the team. I believe, was he Royal Giants or?
He was the Royal Giants. He
Mhm.
started the Umpires Association in
Yeah.
the state here, the Black Musicians Union. He was like Joe Staten Sr. He was a Renaissance man. He did everything.
They were amazing. Well, that's what I really loved about Black baseball here in Seattle and early on, is the intersection between the teams, the players, and then owners and people who sponsor the team. So the sponsors were these businessmen, right? Some of them maybe on the up and up and maybe a little under the table, but they were supporting the teams with their names and jerseys. I know these players didn't always get paid, but they were supported with equipment and encouraged on the field and absolutely loved by community.
Oftentimes their only and best option were like a Doc Hamilton or Noodle Smith, who were nightclub owners, and they had the means to be able to support the teams and sponsor them, and just the sense of community building that's been present for over 100 years.
That's
here.
right. They had the dough.
Yeah.
They had the dough to make it happen. And that leads me when you say Noodle Smith. Well, his buddy, Bruce Rowell, right, was the manager of the Owls team, the women, right? So women in baseball. And I know I've talked to you about that before too, how I absolutely love the history of the Owls, who were women's softball state champions 1938, and then city champions 1939, playing that state championship game at Six Stadium.
Incredible.
Remember Six Stadium?
Absolutely.
That was a great spot. I learned to drive in that stadium, that parking lot.
I did too.
Yeah. Whoa, there you go. We have something in common, more in common. But the Owls were a really fabulous team. I don't think there was anyone who did not respect their play. They were women who came together. Some of their brothers were on baseball teams, and these women, most of them were at Garfield or Roosevelt High School. And the more I dig into their history, it does leave me with a few more questions than answers.
Sure.
So I'm really curious about it, and I hope that our conversation today will create that curiosity for people to dig deep into baseball history.
And thanks to you and the Black Heritage Society, we have great visual representations of the Seattle Owls on the walls at Steelhead's Alley for everybody to see.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah,
Thanks, Dave.
That's wonderful.
for mentioning that.
And you mentioned Bruce Rowell managing the Seattle Owls. He also was listed as one of the owners of the Seattle Steelheads.
Yes, he was.
Who were, the franchise for the West Coast Negro Baseball Association, the first pro black baseball team. Short-lived, but legendary.
I know. Did we have one summer? Maybe
had a month and a half.
We had a month and a
right.
half. Well, that's about a summer in Seattle.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, come on.
Indeed.
So I love that connection and the connectedness, in community. And really that's what baseball is all about. Earlier, Dale and Omar were talking about that connection in community and how baseball and how I saw my boys, even in Little League, how it inspired them to be better boys, be better people in terms of sportsmanship, improve their self-esteem. So the game goes way beyond just your skill and your athleticism.
It's community building and just learning to be a better person in the world. Just teamwork makes the dream work for sure.
There you go. It's just a beautiful game, and we're here and all excited about Swingman. I can't wait and hope to meet some of those players.
Right.
Encourage them, talk about, the history of our baseball, and, cheer them on tomorrow evening, 7:00.
It's going to be fantastic.
Right. A little bit of a pregame though, right? At Steelheads. I don't know about you. I'm going to try to be there. I'm going to try to beat that crowd,
right,
and be down at Steelheads Alley for the pregame. And there's also this other excitement, outside of this space, but at the Museum of History and Industry, you have an exhibition there.
Right.
All-Star Baseball.
Just this past Saturday, it opened to the public, and it's Baseball All-Stars, and it's a compact but very, very dynamic display of baseball all-stars and baseball history, not just Seattle, but internationally. And so we've got pre-Mariners baseball history, we have Mariners history, and then in the central display, you have game-worn jerseys and bats and other artifacts from 5 of the greatest and most iconic players in the history of the game. You've got Willie Mays, who, for my money, is the greatest all-around baseball player of all time. You've got Roberto Clemente, the great one.
Yes.
Sandy Koufax, Ted Williams, and Babe Ruth as well.
And it's so hard to have a favorite one of those. And I think it's really great that all that memorabilia is behind glass, right?
Well,
because, I know I want to get close and touch it. So thanks for this chat, Dave. This has been really great. I know we have a lot to talk about on baseball. So here and away from the mic. So really appreciating Converge for inviting us down.
Always a pleasure to hang out with you, Stephanie. No doubt.
You too, Dave. I know. All right. Thank you.
I have a dream. That's what Dr. King said. Have gives hope, doesn't it? Because the dream didn't die with Dr. King. It's still here as long as we're here, as long as they're here.
This thing started with a dream, a vision, a little ambition, anticipating what was possible in the midst of improbable. How do we get our team through the South?
We're going to talk about what happened here in 1964. This city was an ugly place to be.
I need you on the battlefield, making sure that one day and one day soon, by the time they're our age, we can all say, "Child, all lives matter," and it be the truth.
Our God is marching on. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah.
Hey, I'm Besa Gordon. You may have heard my voice on Hits 106.1 or seen me on Converge Media, but now I'm coming to TV. I'm hosting the newest show on Fox 13 called Back to Besa. Check us out every weekend for the hottest topics, interviews, the latest trends, and uplifting stories. We're going to have so much fun, and teens, we got you too. Back to Besa Saturday nights, 10:30 on Fox 13, and Sundays at 10 a.m. on Fox 13+.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, places you go, and the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out. Down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
Hi, I'm Besa Gordon from Converge Media, Hits 106.1, and Back to Besa on Fox 13.
And I'm Buki Gates from Baseball Beyond Borders.
And we are here at T-Mobile Park, where on July 7th, they will host the very first ever HBCU Swingman Classic.
That's right, Besa. Ken Griffey Jr., the kid, has rounded up 50 of the very best ball players from HBCUs from all across the country, from schools like Jackson State, Grambling, Southern, FAMU, North Carolina A&T, Alabama State, and many more.
It's literally the All-Star game before the All-Star game, right?
Exactly. And the fact that the very first HBCU Swingman Classic is happening right here in the Emerald City is a big deal.
A big deal indeed. And it sounds like a whole lot of Black college homecoming vibes.
You already know what it is. Don't miss out on this historic opportunity to see the very best of the best Black college baseball players right here at T-Mobile Park on July 7th. Tickets are on sale now at allstargame.com. See you there.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Takeover Day 2. Of course, you see that scene. We are still here at Pier 62 with Waterfront Park, and me and Big O are back on set. What up, Big O?
What's happening?
What a great episode so far.
Yeah, you know, anytime. This is my first time hearing Dave Eskenazi talk, and man, very knowledgeable. Anytime we get Auntie on set, you know what I'm saying? You know, people who follow Converge, you know that it's like that's our partner. You know what I'm saying? The Black Heritage Society, Washington State, and Stephanie Johnson Tolliver is one person to never get a no out of Converge. So I'll give some people some insight here. If you ever want us to agree with something, hey, work with you. You got to go talk to Stephanie first, because she the only person. Stephanie Johnson would call me and be like, "Hey, I was thinking," and before she finished the sentence, I'm like, "Yes." just tell me what it is. But we've had so many great productions come out, all the way from the Craven family reunion when we went up there to Roslyn, Washington, to our Throwback Thursday series and everything else that's on there. You know, the second season of Throwback Thursdays, and just a great partnership with the Black Heritage Society of Washington State.
Well, absolutely. And I just appreciate her voice. It always reminds me of NPR when she comes on. It's like very soothing.
That's
for me.
because she's
I
confident.
appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Stephanie just got that confidence. She got that steady voice because she's confident, because she know what she's talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely knowledgeable.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Well, you know, Converge has been out on the scene. We were talking about capturing businesses down here by Pioneer Square and within by the stadium, but Converge been all over the place, and we got a amazing segment, Black-owned restaurant in the CD, Simply Soulful.
Simply Soulful.
Check
We're
it out.
at Simply Soulful, new location, 23rd and Jackson in the historical Central District, right on the corner where the Red Apple used to be. No, we're just trying to keep the legacy here, still keeping the same ingredients, cooking techniques and everything that we had on Madison, and just serving it to you same hot and fresh like here on Jackson as we did on Madison. Me and my mother were both inspired and wanted to open up some kind of food business. Started out selling my grandma's recipe, sweet potato pie at the farmer's market, and as time just went on, timing just popped up, and we ended up down in Madison in 2014. So my grandma was born and raised in Mississippi, as well as my mother and father, so we're like first-generation Washingtonians. Every week, pretty much, my grandma had her own boarding home. She cooked every day, had her own garden. As I got older and started maybe cooking and things like that, people experienced our food, you know, at work, where we would take leftovers from Thanksgiving, things like that. You know, a lot of people commented on how good it was and things like that. So that's why we took the sweet potato pie. That was one thing that we always cooked a lot of, right? So taking it to work and getting feedback, in 2011, we actually started selling that sweet potato pie at the farmer's market, and we just went on from there. They have a black business right here on the corner of 23rd and Jackson. As much gentrification that's happened in the city, you know, as many families that have been displaced,
for us to be here along with every other Black business on the corner. We got Queen Care, we got 23rd Avenue Brewery, Boosh, Catfish Corner, A for Apple, daycare, just to have that stamp. Black coffee's coming right there to the old Starbucks, right? So just to have that stamp on the neighborhood, like, we're still here, this is still our neighborhood, and the support's been great. I've been able to cultivate a pretty good crew. We should treat our businesses like we treat every other business. We should believe that this is something that can prosper, that can go on. It's important to our kids, to see us, to continue that Black excellence into the future. We want to be here to set an example of what resiliency can look like, you know what I mean? We're here. We are still the same business as we were, down in Madison. Actually, we still have the Madison location. We just use it as our commissary kitchen. So my mom and those guys are still down there, continuing to keep everything as much as possible the same as it was when we were down on Madison. We want you to be able to come up here into our new space, enjoy it, the outdoor space, the indoor space. We're still unapologetically Black. Like you said, we keep our music list, with the good old school R&Bs, funk, however we do it. On Sunday, that was part of the design of this, was for it to be a rotating art gallery for Black artists. So like you said, our website says Myron Curry. Right now we actually have Rodney King, who is Kingspin, I believe is his tag name. So every 4 months, Jasmine Scott, who's our art curator, she also owns Art Noir with her mother on 23rd and Union. She's our art curator, so she comes in every 4 months and highlights different Black artists. So that's another thing. Come in, see what we got to offer. All the art is available for sale. That's something we're working on in the future, as far as, making this really a hub for our community to come back and to be able to celebrate us still being here.
There we go, man. Simply Soulful in the building.
We're going to be eating, huh?
Yeah, no. And the food is amazing. I mean, Lillian, shout out to you, the entire crew. It's a beautiful space. Took the boys there, a little Sunday dinner. It was great.
Yeah. That's why Winfield and Trae Zell, man, they gaining weight. They get big shout out. They get all these shoots. You know what I'm saying? who we need? Everybody kind of healthy over here on the crew. That this guy, we need to send you on some of these.
Send Ray out there.
You know what I'm saying? You can gain a few. Before we get out of here, we also got some great photos that Ike Everard took. Man, Ike claimed this is his second, third time going into the Space Needle, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we get to the photos, big shout out. I see Marie Cadet is over there. What's up, Marie?
Hey, Marie.
Y'all don't know. That's boss lady.
Big boss.
Yeah. What is they call it? When they call it soft power or strong? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That it's the powerful person that does what you want by them just smiling at you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to whatever. That's Marie. But Marie is smiling, be like, Omari, I just know that Converge is gonna come and they're gonna do this, and that, and it's gonna be whatever, right? I'm like, yes, Marie.
Yeah.
It don't even take no funny though. Like, hey, that's that. So big shout out Marie Cadet, man. And you know what I'm saying? Us being here on the waterfront. This is her vision right here, and it's playing out perfectly, man. And thank you for including us in your vision, Marie. And we're very happy to be here. All right, let's get to these photos right here. Ike Everard, this isn't his first time going to the top of the Space Needle. He's done it before, but today, man, King Felix was up there and raised the official flag on top of the Space Needle. And there you see they got their signature wall too. Great photos with Ike Everard and Katie Griggs, president of the Mariners, joined Felix up there on the top of the Space Needle. How was it, Ike? You've been up there a few times now. You ain't never scared, huh?
Not scared. Look, he threw a thumbs up.
Never scared. Man,
shout out to you, Ike. Great work.
Yeah, and what we didn't do yesterday, we got to do, because we got a lot of crew out here today, is thank our crew. And of course, our director, Ike Everard. And one thing about Ike started off with us. And anybody who's listening out there, this is a great story with Ike Everard. The way that we met Ike is Ike was a student at Arizona State University, but here from Seattle. And he had made a short podcast kind of documentary around the Seattle protests, right? And he had just went to our info email and sent it. And he was like, hey, I made something here if you guys want to check it out or whatever. And so then I checked it out and I was like, well, we can't just, I said, I want to play some of this, or make it available. But I said, we can't just do that. We need you to come on air. And so we brought him in. Remember that show?
Yeah.
We brought him in live down there. He was out there at Arizona State in the dorm or something. You know what I'm saying? And we talked to him there. And then from there, he became an intern here at Converge. And then, man, now he's our content specialist and director and all kinds of stuff. So big shout out, Ike Everard.
Big shout
Appreciate
out,
you. You know what I'm saying? He lives in Nashville now, but he came back home to Seattle just so he could sit right in that chair right now this week with us.
Well, yeah, huge shout out to you, Ike, for all the work. I don't even know. So much behind the scenes is us contacting Ike. Thank you, Ike, for that.
Ike.
Making it happen.
Yeah,
Shout out to the whole crew that's
Yeah,
out
I was
here.
gonna
We
say,
got, look,
Yeah,
Carlos
you know-
Amani.
Yep.
Look, we got LaVoy, we got Ray, we got DJ Topspin, we got our guy Francisco, we got William back there. We got the whole crew up here in the building.
Yep. And we also got Mara cracking the whip.
Making sure it all goes right. Thanks, Mara.
All right, we're going to get out of here. But tomorrow, man, we got a real exciting show. We're joined by our guy, Buki Gates. You hear Buki's name a lot, man. Buki is the founder of Baseball Beyond Borders, and that's our partners on our mission to revive baseball in the inner city. So we're going to be joined by Buki Gates. Hey, and Besa Gordon's going to be here. Besa's going to be on the set. You guys know Besa's got her new show, Back to Besa, on Fox 13. Airs at 10:30 p.m. on Saturday nights. So Besa be here. We got a big jam session going with DJ Topspin tomorrow. Also, we've got softball Beyond Borders. We've been talking about a lot of baseball here, but you know what I'm saying? We got to give these young women they shine. So tomorrow it's all about women and softball and women. You said the UW has a women's baseball team too.
That's correct.
Right. And so you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow is all about the uplift of the women.
Well, it's exciting. I got to spend some time with Angie, and she was phenomenal telling me all about baseball. So I'm telling you, there's a lot going on. She started the UW softball program, so she's a legend.
There it is. All right, we'll get out of here. Any last words for you, Trae Holiday?
You know what, everyone? Make it a great day. We are doing our part here, but of course, you can be inspired to do your part and find your way to see yourself as a part of the solution, as our entire crew has, and everyone who has made this possible has.
All right, good stuff. Well, we're on our way out of here for today, but as usual, I want to tell you, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. And until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace.